hang on a second. Make sure I turned Wi-Fi off. I did. This won't work with Wi-Fi on. My kitchen Wi-Fi has gotten so bad again. It's like it comes in spells, goes in waves, especially on a day like today when it's raining. Let's see. Let's see who logs in. I don't think anybody's gonna log in. Somebody's here. Who's here? Who's that? Two peoples. Okay, so it takes about 30 seconds for notifications to go out. That's what I'm finding. Just under a minute for the notifications to go out. Haven't done a live feed in a few days. Who's here? This is gonna be really boring if we don't have interaction because I got nothing going on today. I'm watching the coffee pot. Hey Sean, what's going on? 4 people here. I'm watching the coffee pot intently because my coffee cup is empty and I didn't sleep good last night. Did you guys see my post? Now there's only 2 people here. Is this gonna be one of those ones where it just sits like this? Because if it is, I'm just gonna end it. And it's not you guys. I'm pretty sure it's YouTube when this happens. Where people start logging in, they start having problems, and then they drop right back out, and then I'm with like 2 people here. It's not you guys. It's either my internet, because it is raining, or it's YouTube. That's usually what the things that happen are. So people log out, log back in. Hey, what's going on, Robert? I didn't sleep good. If you guys saw, I put up a post at like 1 o'clock this morning. I was watching YouTube, couldn't sleep, and fucking for some reason, the channels that I like to watch, those jerks don't, like, I don't put non-skippable ads. I don't put non-skippable ads in my videos. If you see a non-skippable ad in my video, I didn't put it there because when I go through the monetization selection, I click morning. I definitely click no non-skippable ads. So I'm watching, I was watching some YouTube channel last night. It was late, I couldn't sleep. I was like, fuck, I just want to go to sleep. And I'd had the TV off and everything for a while, and I was like, screw it, I'll just turn it on, put my headphones on, plug it into the PS4, and just listen to YouTube. And so I was sitting there, and the channel I was watching, like every fucking 3 minutes was a non-skippable ad, or 2 5-second ads that you can't skip. And I was like, I really don't like this. This is why I don't do that in my videos. If you guys want to skip the ads in my videos, you can, because I don't put the non-skippables in. But holy crap. Like, I stopped in the middle of a video that was actually pretty interesting. I was watching I'm doing all right. I was watching a crime documentary style video. And hey, what's up, Zach? What's up, Menace with a knife? Yeah, I was watching a crime documentary style video, and like every 2 minutes of this 30-minute video was like a non-skippable ad, and one of them was like 1 minute and 48 seconds. I was like, fuck that, I'm not watching that. I was interested in his content. It was the first time I ever watched that channel, but the non-skippable ads will put me off, especially if it's like so many of them. Yeah, I hear it too. I'm wondering if that's... So the wife and kid went skating this morning. Today is my first day back working out. I'm gonna work out here just as soon as I break from talking with you guys and take the dog for a walk. But it's raining, so taking the dog for a walk sucks. So I had intentions of doing a giveaway, basically 2 giveaways, one for the members only and one for you guys, but I got bored with doing stuff. Like I say, I haven't seen you on here in a while, Zach. Coffee. Come on, coffee. It always beeps, and then it's like still like 1 cup left that still has to come out. You know, if you pour it out now, it's gonna be a little bit too strong. Costco pandemic. I went to Costco Thursday. It was not bad. Because of my medical condition, I can shop with the old folks. So I went in for early senior shopping, and the lady was like, "Excuse me, sir, you can I see your ID for early shopping?" I was like, "I was told that if I had an autoimmune disorder, I could come in early." And she was like, "Oh," she's like, "And how does that work?" And I was like, I take meds for my immune system." I take meds for my immune system, so my immune system drops. Sorry, I got a text from my buddy's dad, and I was just reading it, and I was like, I basically my immune system's wrecked from the meds I take. Speaking of which, I have to get my meds out. I have to get a shot today. Today is injection day. In my stomach. It's not. I was like, well, diabetics do it all the time. Diabetics use a different needle. That needle hurts. I actually filmed one time. I did a video and I put it up, and I gave myself one of my injections. I was just talking. I was like, "Yeah, this you gotta live with. You got autoimmune disorder. These are the meds you gotta take." And I explained. I gave myself a shot on camera. YouTube made me take it down. They said it was graphic medical content, just like pimple popper stuff. Like they first they said I needed to take it down. Then they came back and said I would have to demonetize it. And I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it. I'll just take it down. I'd already pulled it, I think. And for my injections, I have to give myself a shot every other week in the stomach. And so I don't know what gauge needle is, but my dad was diabetic, and I saw the needles that he used for insulin, and I was like, that's a smaller needle than the one I stick in my belly. It is adalimumab. I can't pronounce it. It is a immunosuppressor to keep my immune system in check so I don't have as many problems. Coffee in my mustache. So what's everybody doing? Oh, you did. Oh, is that why you came back to the channel? Like, holy shit, he's still around. He was on a podcast. That was fun. I'd never done a podcast. Everyone keeps telling me, it's like, oh, you need to get a hold of Knife Nuts guys and ask them if you can be on a podcast. And I was like, that's kind of not how I thought it worked. I thought they asked you, but then one of my Neves from Neves Knives was telling me, he's like, no, reach out to Bobby. I'm sure he'd love to have you on a podcast. The second I reached out to him, he's like, no, that'd be great. So, and then I have little cocktailed other meds that I have to take every day. Today it's just, they actually took me off one of them. They took me off one of my meds. So I don't have as much that I have to take every morning. But I do have a vitamin I like to take. Uh-oh. I'm out of vitamins. Oh well. Don't need them. It's a niacin, non-flushing niacin. I like to take it before I work out. It helps your body utilize fat. It's one of those B vitamins that utilizes energy, helps with energy consumption. And at my age, working out right now after taking a week off pretty much, I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, there's a lot of knives that, like, if we wanted to, if we wanted to go back to making some fairly decent budget knives, cheaper knives, we could go back to a steel that I, like I said, 440C is still really good. Yeah. Well, today is actual resistance training. I took a week off from lifting. I did cardio, but I took a week off from lifting weights because I had hurt something up where my pec meets the delts up here into the shoulder, like right in here. And I could feel it. It was really inflamed. It was a hard spot. I was afraid I'd torn something. I just pulled something really good right up in here. And it's feeling way better. So I'm like, all right, well, now I can get back into working out. And it was time to make that switch from push pull. I made the switch from push pull to pull pull. So all resistance days were one direction. And now I'm going back to push pull just to break it up. Get better results that way. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could do in the knife world, and I don't know if you heard me say it. I just, like, everybody's talking about that only buy American, and I was like, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing people say don't buy Chinese. That's the big push that I'm hearing, and I think it's fucking horrible. That is no less racist than anything else you could say. That is no less biased than anything else that could be said. And I personally don't like bias. I can't do actual push-ups. I do them in the resistance band in the rings, like the TRX bands, and I get it an angle. I can't stay flat with this shoulder having that surgery. When I do regular push-ups, I have to have the ability to move that shoulder around because the bicep's not attached the same way. And so doing regular push-ups is really uncomfortable for me. I have to keep adjusting and things like that. But those rings let me just kind of let that shoulder do what it wants, and I still get a really good workout. It turns, because it's free floating. It's like free weights where you have to stabilize yourself. It's kind of the same, but you're doing it with body weight. And I've gotten to where I'm like doing it with the weighted vest, but that allows me to rotate that shoulder a little bit to get some little bit more space in there. Haven't had like 4 shoulder surgeries. I really can't do regular push-ups. I can't do regular pull-ups either. I do them on those rings as well because I can adjust and not putting my whole body weight on it. But now that whole don't buy Chinese is fucking every bit as bad as anything else that gets said, that has been said. It's a racial bias, and like I said, I was in the military, and I fought for a concept of the Constitution where all men are created equal. It's in the Constitution. I carried a copy of that in my pocket, and I had an argument with a buddy. I said something about I said that something about all lives mattering, and they were like, well, that's racist. And I was like, no, it's not. That is like the embodiment of equality and striving for equality. Because I tell you what, I didn't give a fuck what color any of my friends are. When especially having been in the military, I don't care. That's the last thing I look at. It's like the steel that's in a knife. It's like the last thing I would ever look at when I'm trying to choose a friend. Choose friends on what kind of person they are. Just don't get all this. And I don't want to talk about it because this isn't like a subject for discussion, like what's going on in the world today. But I was just saying that like that whole don't buy Chinese it's a fucking horrible thing to say. So, but I explain it in the podcast. So if you want to hear it, go listen to Bobby D's Knife Junkie podcast. That was a lot of fun too. Bobby's fun. We talked for a little bit before and after, so you guys didn't hear all of it. We talked about Emerson knives. We talked about some other stuff. We talked about some things that are going on in small business these days, and it really wasn't in the podcast. We had cut it at an hour, so they do a really good job. They did a really good job. I would say that I wish I had taken my phone and went somewhere where I had better signal, because if you hear it, the audio, that's 100% because my audio video, it was bad. Like my signal was bad that day. And so it's a video feed to do the interview, you're looking at each other, but then the audio is the only part that they actually capture. So, what's everybody got going on in their worlds today? This is going to be boring, guys. It sits right here, just in case you guys get me to $500 a month on that membership. It sits right here so that I can just throw it in my pocket. I have been carrying my Farron Forge spinner a lot lately, and I think this is probably going to be the next revisiting video. Either this one, either this knife, or the Cold Steel Tough Light that my father gave me for Father's Day 5, 6 years ago. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people can't love Emerson knives. I'm just saying I think that they are overpriced for what you get. Like, there's so many knives out there that you could get that are of better quality. But I could see if you've got an Emerson that you just wouldn't give a crap if you beat the shit out of it, because, I mean, look at it already. That's been my standpoint on it. Like, that's the only, like, if you're gonna, like, if you buy an Emerson, yeah, you're gonna use it because it sure as hell ain't no beauty pageant winner. But then again, I use this a lot too. So if you're using a knife that's, you guys ever gotten to see this up close? I don't know if I've ever shown you guys this up close. Those are all hand-carved scales done with a Dremel. Even on the pocket clip. Focus. Work with us here. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. All hand carved. I will say I'm not a fan of the pocket clip on this one. I have thought for a while now that I would like to mount a bent clip on here, but it won't work that way because the screws go into the pocket clip. So the screws in the holes in the handle are not threaded. So I couldn't like top mount a bent clip. So it's just a little square and proud, but it's not horrible. And like I said, for as much as this knife gets carried, I can overlook it because it's just my favorite blade shape that Chris and Elliot ever did. So, well, it looks like people are bouncing. So there's still 7 people here. You guys want to keep this going, or do you guys have other stuff that you want to do? I mean, if we keep it like at 8 people for a little bit, I'll do it for a little bit longer, maybe 30 minutes. It's not like I walk the dog, it's raining. There's some that like that. You guys are going to see the Wingman EDC video, I think this week or next week Tuesday. I'm not sure what my schedule looks like. The new canopy does not leak. It's a good thing I couldn't sleep anyway. I was checking it. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't leaking in here where it would get my light and everything wet. Yeah, that's where I hang my sweatshirt. So yeah, I'm not got anything else I can really do right now. Taking dog for walks gonna suck. Not that I mind the rain. Our sidewalks, when they built the sidewalks here in our housing area, they didn't put a broom finish on the concrete. Yeah, mosquitoes are bad this year too. Did you see my mosquito fogger? Yeah, I have to, if I'm working out there, I gotta fog the whole yard and put a mosquito coil under my bench. And I still got chewed up. I sharpen knives all morning on Friday so that I could get them out, customer stuff that was going out. And so I sharpened a bunch of knives Friday morning, and I got chewed up out there Friday morning, even having fogged. And that's because they water. Oh, I got elected vice president of the HOA. So we have a whole new board. We elected an entirely new board and got rid of the people that we think have been causing the issues. And our HOA president was really abusive. The HOA president was really, really abusive to homeowners and just horrible to them. And I was like, this is not how you interact with the people that, like, you're not a paid, this isn't like your playground. You're not paid. You a volunteer. We elected you to do this and we'll unelect you. And so I started my campaign and I sent out a letter to all the homeowners about what I thought was wrong. You know, these are my thoughts of what I think is wrong. And if you guys agree, then, and I got the most votes of anyone. I was the lead vote getter. And then there was another guy. There was three of us that ran together. It was me. There's another military guy that lives right above me, named Devin, and he came in second on votes. And then we had Phyllis, who was another person we were running with, and she was already on the board, and she got re-elected to the board, which pushed the three people that we wanted off the board off. And so we did. They did a vote between the five of us, the five board members, of who wants to be president, who wants to be vice president. And I got nominated for president. I was like, I don't want to be president of the HOA. So I nominated the other guy. And then he turns around and nominates me for vice president. I get it. And I was like, I didn't really want to be an officer of the HOA. I kind of just wanted to be there to represent the average Joe Schmuckatelli homeowner in the board, as opposed to the people that own their houses outright and don't give a crap what they pay on their HOA because they just don't care. And I honestly think there's something shady with the amount of money that's going into that HOA and what's getting done. So, but at any rate, now I'm the vice president of the HOA. So maybe we can change some things. Maybe I can get I have a spot out there that you can reach in through my outer wall, through the stucco, through the chicken wire, through the insulation, and touch my inner drywall. And if they don't fix it soon, they're going to have to re-drywall my living room because it's raining and has been raining. And if that leaks through, I'm fucking suing them. I got a friend of a friend that just, like, he loves to sue people. It's like his favorite thing. Like, I asked him one time about suing somebody for something. He's like, I'll do it for free if I get to sue somebody. He's like, I love suing people. He's like, I'll do it for free up till you get money. He's like, no, I'll just take a portion of it. I was like, that works. What is my EDC flashlight? I don't even have it in my pocket. I'm not fully prepared for the day yet. I mean, I haven't had a full cup of coffee yet. My EDC flashlight is this little one, the Mastrop. So, well, Mick, are you... Mick! Okay, Mick. So, Mick, you keep telling me, like, all these times you keep telling me that you can't find the join button. Subscription and join is different. I just want to make sure that we're clear on this. So, Mick, now that I've got you here in a live feed, there is a join button on my page, on like the home. If you go to my actual channel, you see a join. Or if you're in one of my videos, there's a link. But that's what the join is. And that's the paying members. They pay, like, there's a tier for $5 and then there's a tier. I think you got to do it from a computer. I think you may have to do it from computer. I think you have, but you have to go to my main channel. But I've responded to some of your comments and I sent the actual link. If you're interested in doing it, like, but yeah, if you go into the description of my videos as well, down where the write-up is, it says click here to get exclusive content. So if you want to get in on that, on the exclusive content, I'm trying to get the abrasives, the second of the tutorial series. I'm trying to get it shot. I'm just having problems. Like I can't get it to come out the way I want. And it's nothing like, it's not like the phone or camera or the upload. It's just that I can't get it put together the way I want without it sounding like a classroom setting. And I don't want to do that because all of my videos historically have been, whether they actually are or not, they have this off the cuff feel. And I want that to carry into the instructional tutorial thing because that's more, I noticed that when I would instruct, that is a form of instruction that works better than just putting out the information. Like if you're doing it as a conversation, like off the cuff, like this is just what we're talking about, a lot of times the information soaks in better than it does if you're just trying to death by PowerPoint and just dry and straightforward. You've got to make it in a fashion that it's almost like you guys are learning at the same time. No, I have a Patreon, but there is a, I believe that it's in my default uploads. If you go into the description in this video, like if you're on an iPad, you turn it so that you can see like all the stuff and then you see the arrow where comments are, but you see the description. It's in there because if any of my videos in the description, since I started memberships, it should be in there and it's an upload default. So every video goes up with it. So, but yeah, I'm working on getting that shot. Like what abrasives? There's so many out there. Like where do I have to spend my money? Like what's the best choice for using, you know, where do I blow $60 and where do I skimp with like a $10 stone? You know, where can I get away with that at? So that's what I'm working on. But every time I shoot it, it just does not come out. But the members this week, the paying members this week, and I think it's going to be Wednesday, whatever day the 1st is. Whatever day July 1st is. $8CR, 18 MOV. I'm not a fan of the 8CR. The 9CR is good. But, so yeah, I think this week, the 1st, Nico and I agreed that, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna give you guys a quick heads up. So if you guys, this might be something you decide you want to become a member so you can try and get some of these giveaways. Nico and I decided that we're going to work together on a giveaway. I'm actually going to pay him to do the work. I will pick a winner out of the paying members, and the paying members get their choice of knife scales. Preferably not titanium. Titanium is not as good to do this with. All right, Mick, shoot me an email. gunmonkey1974@gmail.com. It's the one that's on my business card, the gunmonkey1974@gmail, and I'll send you a link. Just shoot me an email. So Nico is going to take any scales that can be hydrographic, preferably like something like if you got a knife with fiberglass scales or micarta or something like that. Nico will take those scales and he will get with you and figure out what patterns he has available that look well on smaller items like knife scales. And then he's gonna hydro dip your knife scales. And then you get to pick whether you want a matte or a clear finish, a matte or a gloss finish on your scales. Like Nico did these. So when we're talking like gloss, he uses automotive clear coat. So it's not like you got to worry about like it wears off quick. I've got a couple knives and things that case in point, the handles on this gun. This gets carried a lot. It does not wear off. So use automotive clear, either matte or gloss. And then once they're set and dry and cured, he's going to send the knife down to me for sharpening and reassembly. So he's going to take the knife apart, all that stuff. And then that way you guys can basically get a really cool giveaway where you're getting the knife sharpened and you're getting your scales hydro dipped. And I'm just going to pay Nico the price of the hydrographics out of the monthly YouTube money. that I get from memberships, because we got like 15 members, more than enough to pay for a set of scales to get dipped. So I'm going to give back to you guys from the money that you're donating. That's the point of the channel, was to do some stuff like that. And I've noticed that the cleft in my chin is very evident due to the cleft in my mustache and beard, or a cleft in my beard. So that's the next giveaway. I'm probably going to put that video up today to go live tomorrow for the paying members. So if that's something you're interested in, that's we're doing that. And then, like I said, I am going to do a giveaway this week as well, just for everyone. I'm going to give away this 511. I wish there was a way that I could segregate it so that the 15 paying members, like this would be only for you guys, but there's no real way to do it unless I just ask the members kindly to just not participate. But that would be unfair. Business email for Zach, email me. I have it somewhere. And I just can't remember it. I have his, let me look. I have his card. I guarantee I've got his card here. If I don't, it's in the bedroom, or I gave it to a bunch of other people. That's a blacksmith, plumber, Matthew Patton at Slice, Megalo Knives, it's Rick Hinderer's card. It's Larry in Ohio. I'll see. I may have it still. I think I gave a bunch of them away. San Diego Knives, some distributor, Adam Jacobs, Life of Knives, Albert Knives, Portraits, K2 Concepts. Here you go. Nico Urbano, project manager. You ready? I'm gonna give it to you. Ready? It is CRABBYYCOATINGS at gmail.com. So it's Crabby Coatings, CRABBY Coatings at gmail.com. And that's Nico's email. That's his business email. He is the project manager for K2 Concepts. And that is a picture of my cabinets. I got the card all wet and dirty. I got the, well, that's the year I was born. That's the year I was born. Because there's so many people out there. Gun Monkey is apparently a really popular username. And so there's so many people out there that I had to differentiate myself. These are all just knife contact business cards. These are just guys that I've met, that I interact with. I mean, like, I interact with a lot of these guys regularly. And their cards, like Dave Dang, I talk to him pretty regular. I haven't talked, actually, I shouldn't say that. I haven't talked to Dave in almost a year. What was this? A2D Mercantile, Douglas Espinada. And it's Rain Touch Knives, Benchmade. This is Tony, or Troy, I mean. Eugene. And some of these guys, like, I have more than one, because I like to take the cards and then hand them out to other people. Like, I had like 4 of Russell's cards. I have a couple of Eugene's cards from Olamic. Just because I like to hand them out to other people. GL Hansen and Sons, they do the G-Carta. Guys, if you want to get handle material done in that denim micarta, these are the people you need to get a hold of. GL Hansen and Sons. Greg Hansen is the owner. I need to keep that out. And I have some other stuff, like I have some Department of Justice folks that I have to keep in touch with. I have the guy that is the investigative analysis guy for Department of Homeland Security. Who's a great Instagram? Niagara Steel. I'm trying to see if I've got. Oh, Barajas Customs. Oh, G Carta. Yeah, and they're nice guys. Like I talked to them up at the. I've talked to them a bunch of knife shows. They're just really nice. Freeman Outdoors. I'm trying to find a specific card. There it is. I have to get a hold of this guy. Bastinelli. Bastinelli knives. I need to get a hold of these guys too. Just to say hi. They're in Kissimmee, Florida now. So there's 3 people that I need to get a hold of. Just because I haven't talked to them since Portland last year. I just like them. Like Matt, Carter, and the guys from Bastinelli Knives. They're always fun. You guys see it in my videos. Like if you watch my knife show videos, I always stop by the Bastinelli table. I love those guys. So, oh, but somebody was asking about my EDC flashlight. This is just my little, the one that they had on Mastrop, the little brass one. I have a brass one. My wife has a brass one. My daughter has a brass one, and then threw a fit because she wanted the blue titanium. So technically, we have 4 of these. I think, I don't remember. I don't pay much attention to ProTech knives. I don't even own a ProTech. I got one in there I gotta fix though. So, the Wingman EDC for the SPARK, the SPARK or the Spark is done. And we'll go up. It's already up. It's just gonna go live. So the members have already seen it. But yeah, Mick, I will see if you guys send me an email. I just got a message on my. Oh, my wife has left the ice rink. And it's currently not supposed to rain. It was supposed to rain later, like earlier in the evening last night, and it didn't start raining until like right about the time I was going to bed, like 1. And now it's raining later than I wanted it to. So the poor dog is sitting here because I'm not taking her out in the rain. Oh, I gotta give her medicine. Kenny, come here. So, yeah. I've got, yeah, no problem. Nico, like I said, he has a set price for like a minimum price for dip, just because you have to, because like, but then big stuff like this is much more expensive, significantly more expensive. Sit. I think we talked about it just in materials. It would have been like $500 if I'd paid. He didn't charge me to do these cabinet doors, and that's why Nico gets free sharpening and shit like that. He said just in paint and film, we'd have been looking at about $500 to do these cabinets, to get, because they had to order a specific pattern. And like I said, when you look at it, I mean, they're great. The cabinet doors look amazing. He got these ones down here done. Next step is I've got to paint, because this just is not, that paint it's pretty much gone. But yeah, he got my cat, and I have to readjust. A couple of these are off a little. So, dude, we had a hell of a time getting these doors figured out because we had forgot to mark them. So we knew that one went, but all the other ones, there was only one that went to the left. So we knew it was that one. But then they were different sizes and different width. Like that door is different size than that door. These doors are different size than the other doors. So when I get ready to paint all of this, I'm going to take these cupboard doors off and readjust, just to adjust the hinges a little. But yeah, that's the next logical thing, is when the wife and kid go to Japan next time, is I'm going to paint all the areas, and I'm going to get some, that crack is just where the seal has went. It depends on your finish. If you have a matte finish, I mean, it's going to be whatever the finish was on the material. So case in point, it doesn't feel any different than it did before he dipped it. It doesn't. It feels the same. And this has got a matte finish on it, so it's not slippery. So it basically feels like even if you go with a matte, and it was matte before, it's gonna feel exactly like it did. You're not really gonna notice a difference. So like you can't tell that anything was done to it except just to look at it. It feels exactly like it did. Like he blasts it, but then the film kind of fills that in, and then the clear. So it's blasted, then it's primed, and so it's that whole process. You're not going to feel a difference unless it was glossed before and you decide you want a matte finish. Then it's going to feel a little different. No, no, it's even though that's matte, that's still that's smooth. It does not feel any different than the composite. So like you can't feel a difference between the finish on this and the finish on this. Like G10, yeah, if you blast it, it's going to feel a little aggressive. But the second you put that film on and you've primed it and then you clear it, it goes right back to it's not it's weird. It's weird. It doesn't, like I said, I don't see any difference in the way that feels now than it did when I sent it to him. When I sent him those grips, and he did a couple knives for me. Let me go get my Gent. Let me get my Gent. That would be the one because it had G10 handles. Let me take a look at that one. And then we'll start winding this down because I want to get my workout in soon so that I'm not disturbing the wife and kid while they're resting because they're going to come back and I guarantee they're going to take a nap. So let's see. Grab my knife case. Yeah, the difference in feel is going to be whether you want a matte or so like the Gents came G10. And you can see it does not look that much different. Those are the milling lines on the G10. It doesn't look texturally any different. It feels like it did before he started. And I did a matte on this. I had him do matte finish on this as opposed to trying to, can you tell like the snakeskin finish? As opposed to doing a gloss on this. We went with a matte because it is still grippy. It feels just like the smooth G10 just like it came with. So, Steve, you are late to the party. I sent your knives off, Steve, on Friday, I believe. Let me check and make sure that they're not still here. No, Keith's knives are still here, and then Bradley's knife is still here. So, coming Wednesday? Now I gotta remember who fucking sent me these because they took the original shipping label off and I can't see who I had sent it to. So I'm gonna have to get the address again. God damn it. You made it. Because now I gotta go to the post office for that. You made it right at the end again, Daniel. So there you go, what? Well, so did that gentleman. But the problem is he sent me everything you would need and his post office put a tracking label on it that made it air freight. And then they were like, "Oh, you can't send that. That's that auto, that Benchmade auto." So I've got to open it up and repackage it. Pay the fucking shipping again. Straight priority mail, guys. Straight priority mail if you're sending stuff. That's the way to go. So, yeah, Steve's stuff went out. Let's see. Steve, what did you say? I can't remember what it was you sent me that I sharpened for you. I don't remember. I know I did a really weird Smith and Wesson out the front where you had to eject it out and then you had to push this little lever at the very top and then pull this thing back. And I was like, this thing's weird. It was kind of weird. It was, and it was really stiff trying to pull that little tiny lever back. It had a lock at the back. I hope I locked it before I shipped it. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right, because you had to pay me extra for the HX Outdoors. I was thought about doing a video about that knife, but I was like, I'm not that impressed. I'm not impressed enough with it to do a video about that knife. That would be a knife that I would have to be like, I gotta carry this for a little bit just to make sure. Sexy, sexy, sexy. So, no, because the knives that were here from you were all stuff that I'd already done videos about. Most of the stuff that was in there, everything you had sent, I had already done a video about and didn't want to hold up your stuff any longer because I knew that you had a time frame. So I have a V3 and a V4 Holt Spectre here that I'm going to do videos about this week that you'll see in probably like 2 weeks or so. Paying members will see them this week. But yeah, I've got a couple Holt Spectres here to do a video on. I've got a couple other knife videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to do the, like I said, I'm working on the second installment of the tutorial series, the abrasives and stuff like that. No, they don't. So Daniel, they do not. They don't do OEM. So they basically, if you get a knife made, if you want a prototype made by Chris and Elliot, it's going to cost you about $1,600 per knife. Cayenne, stop. She has this habit of licking her feet. No, you don't even need to ask them. They don't do it. They don't do it. And the fact is that the way they make knives right now, they get everything water jetted out. And then if there's any specific milling, like contoured shapes and stuff they would do, that would be milled into the titanium. And then they bring those parts back and Elliot will heat treat each individual blade, hand grind it, and then they hand tool they put the parts all together and they do all the, so like the lock bar cutout is already made and there's little markers as to where the holes need to be, but they make all the holes, they do all the finishing, they do all that stuff. They just basically get parts milled and then Elliot will make a determination if there's going to be a milling pattern and stuff like that. Then they assemble those knives. They do all the holes, and everybody seems to think that, oh, you got it water jet, you just put it together, right? No, water jet. Even with wire EDM, sometimes you still have to do some resizing. Everybody just seems to think that when you get something water jet, that your job is done and you just put the knife together. Even other knife guys, I've argued with my friend Ashton about that. He goes, well, it's water jetted. I was like, you don't get it. Like the water jet comes out and it has a blowout. So everything's oversized to begin with. So you have to hand tool it back down to spec, back down to the size you want. And you got to take that, like here's the sharp edge of this. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like this because the water blows out as it goes through the material and that stream widens. And so it's going to have a spot where it was flat down, where it's too wide, and then it's still too big. So you have to take everything down to size. So what you do is then you just take it down dimensionally, back down to where you need it, taking your measurements, and then you have to drill all your holes and stuff like that because you can't water jet holes and all of that. So, Steve, just shoot me an email with what you're thinking about maybe sending me. I lost a lot of that in there, and I'm getting ready to end this. It stopped raining a little bit. I want to take the dog out before she has an accident. It's not her fault. Last time she went to the toilet was like 12 hours ago. But it's just been raining, and I didn't want to go out in the rain and have her all wet. So, but yeah, So the way they do stuff now is completely different than what you're thinking. They're not a big shop. They don't have a they don't have like a CNC. Daniel, do you know who I would say? And I'm gonna throw it out there, and he may or may not jump on it. Guy that's really good with another guy that's really good with CAD. He's got a couple knives coming out through Artisan as well. Cerberus Knives, Christian up at Cerberus Knives may be able to help you out with that, but it would be one of those things you're gonna have to pay him to do it. It's still gonna cost, and like for render work, usually what you're looking at is between $80 and $120 an hour for however much work it takes, and he might cut you like a set. Like, look, I'll do it to you. I'll do it for you for like $1,200, something like that. He might be willing to do that, but don't forget he's doing his own designs and stuff. Neves is here. I was just talking about you. He's the reason I was on there. He told me I should get a hold of him. But yeah, Christian up at Cerberus Knives might be able to do something like that for you. I like their S90V. I just wouldn't buy a Benchmade because they'll take that S90V and they'll grind it wrong. It'll be bad. They do a really bad job. Well, then you may want to get a hold of Christian because he could probably get Hephaestus Knife Works or Hephaestus Machine Works to actually do it for you and figure out a price to get the machining done by Hephaestus and get your prototypes that way. If it's something you want to do, and if it comes out and you want to do it OEM, they may be able to do that for you. OEM, and then you just pay them whatever the OEM costs are, and then you sell them like that. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. They just have to review it and run toolpaths. That'd be it. Like the toolpath stuff would be the only thing they'd have to do. So Daniel, send me an email and I'll get you in touch with Christian up at Cerberus Knives and see what he says. I gotta give him a call anyway this morning. So, all right, guys, I gotta get off of here. I gotta take the dog for a walk. I gotta drink the rest of my coffee, and I gotta start working out so I can have that done. Hopefully by the time the wife and kids get here, wife and kid gets here. And then I need to get a hold of Alex. I thought he had said he was gonna send me something on Saturday, but I haven't seen the notification. I texted him. He said that he sent it at USPS. I sharpen a lot of S90V. It's like, if you want to send me stuff sharpening, the email is in the description of all my videos, gunmonkey1974@gmail.com. Just reach out to me and I'll send you a link to my standard pricing structure and we can figure something out. So, all right, guys, that's it. I got to get out of here. I will talk to you all later. I thought about trying S90B and send it to you for sharpening. No, you, sir, are awesome. You guys take it easy. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. There's a video going up tomorrow that you all will enjoy. Pretty sure of it. Later.